G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Gauss pistol. This is a new weapon offered by the Wasteland's expansion for Fallout 76, and it seeks to bridge the gap between powers of the gunslinger builds in this game. This thing kicks a lot of ass, believe you me. For starters though, just to let you know how to actually get your own one of these, it's a little bit different because RMT traders have really been pissing Bethesda off apparently, so they've completely disabled player trading on all of these new Wastelander rewards. So basically what you need to do to grab one of these things for yourself is you need to do the main quest line. Doesn't matter who you side with, the Vault 79 will contain all of the plans for this thing and its attachments there. All you need to do is have enough gold bullion to trade them to actually receive those things. Next thing, you'll need to actually grab some legendary modules from the scam artist, and with those legendary modules you can craft a 1, 2, or 3 star thing. And the first one I've actually rolled is this one. I've actually rolled Bloodied and crit damage. So Bloodied, lucky Gauss pistol it is. It's definitely a lucky drop indeed. And with the Bloodied, we can actually push this thing super far. To give you a little bit of a demonstration, or I guess a comparison to what this gunslinger build was like pre-Wastelanders, this is probably your highest damage thing. Western Revolver, notice how there's no shush tube on this, so we can't maintain stealth, which means our damage output would be significantly lower than this thing, which fires much faster, much smaller, more easy to create bullets. But this thing is just a really powerful gunslinger solution, which is a great equalizer, because I've complained long and hard about how underpowered gunslingers are in this game, and I've finally got a new toy to actually give them an edge on combat. So anyways, shut up phone. So anyways, this thing has 164 damage on it, which is pretty good as compared to the Western Revolver's 107, but that gap will increase as we attach perks onto this. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, for some reason, this thing is actually boosted by Demo Expert, and it actually has explosive-like projectiles, so even if you suck at aim, you can do really well with this because it's got explosive splash damage. Whether that's a bug or not, I'm not really sure, but we'll have to find out. I guess we'll find out if Bethesda comes back and says, whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen, I'm going to take that off ya. But anyways, yeah, we'll chuck on the Gunslinger perks because they boost this thing's damage, so does Bloody Mess, and we're doing 326 versus 216. See, that gap is so much bigger now, so much bigger, and it's got a suppressor too, but, you know, we ain't even in Nerd Rage yet. Okay, so now we're in Nerd Rage right there, and this Western Revolver, 670 damage, which I've said was, yeah, that's pretty good, but now this thing's doing 1011. That's so much higher. Okay, so here we are outside of Canterbury Commons, and here is the Gauss pistol, first and third person. Looks pretty neat. Now, going over the functionality of this thing, it is all very similar to the Gauss rifle, and unfortunately, when you actually charge up this barrel, the sights will kind of shift, but seeing as how the sights anyway are just kind of off-center by default, as soon as you charge it, that might actually be in the center anyway, so, you know, it's looking out for you. Once you actually aim, you get a better picture of where you're shooting at. But another thing, like the Gauss rifle, this can actually just fire off like without even charging, and with the Bloodied variant, you'll be still doing a ton of damage. I'm hitting these guys with only sneak criticals of 2 times for 1600 damage, which is, you know, quite enough, yes. But if we didn't want to push all that damage out, what we could do instead is just, you know, just shoot it like that. And if we nail cheeky headshots like that, we can do alright, but I don't think we can just slap the trigger and kill them like that, but we are hitting them for over 2,000 now, which is nice. Now, a good way to get around this weird sights thing is just to aim it with third person, and one of the things that Wastelanders did is it actually gave you a proper read on the spread of this thing when you're in third person, which is a wonderful quality of life change. I was actually looking forward to showing that off because it's good. Instead of a stupid little dot, you'll be aiming with actual reticules now, which is nice. The dot was kind of good, but now it gives you a much better idea of where your bullets are going, which will, you know, help you to, I guess, burst fire, I guess, if you're maybe playing Nuclear Winter and you want an idea of where your bullets ought to go. But yeah, even without anything like a true barrel or a true grip, this thing has supremely good hipfire accuracy. I think the only other barrel for this that I haven't got other than the standard is a lined barrel, but you know, I need the suppressor. The suppressor gives me life. The suppressor makes this thing into just a sneaky powerhouse. Also, they're doggos now. I've noticed some of the super mutant spawns have been replaced by doggos, so I wonder if that was always intended, or whether it's like a balance thing. Alright, hitboxes. There's the reload animation, by the way. And with a little bit of adrenaline, 48%. In fact, we're hitting for 1300 now. A lot of people complain about this thing's durability, but if you place your shots properly and one-shot everything, you really shouldn't have a problem there. So, I like how the game's actually rewarding you for being good and aiming properly. That's some good stuff. Fuck you, Tesla rifles. And let me tell you something, it's such a refreshing thought to, actually have a good gunsling weapon, especially after the disappointment that was the VATS Unknown. A lot of people had a sook at me because I complained too much in that video. It's like, mate, how long have they had us complaining about how bad the alien blasters are in this game? And there we go, we've got an explosive splash damage kill there on that doggo. But yeah, it's been ages. You'd think they'd fix that. They've gone ahead and fixed other annoying things like the minigun barrels not firing properly with you spinning up. So yeah, I'm gonna get that back into muscle memory again. Look, there's another doggo madness here. And yeah, the splash damage, 400 ain't nothing. I'm not even sure if that's intended, but like you'd probably expect from it, it makes it extremely good in crowd control situations. Now, luckily for me, these super mutants are big lads, and they fill up my crosshairs very easily. Oh my god, I can see in here. Wow, really? They have tweaked the lighting settings a little bit. I used to not be able to see in here at all, but now I can, which is good stuff. Now, question is whether you can actually get yourself with the splash damage, and yeah, you can, so be on the lookout for that. Obviously, having a trigger finger is a good way to get yourself killed if you've got an explosive weapon, so, make sure your targets are a little bit further away, which you can easily do with a weapon like this, unlike a revolver, because nothing's going to be charging around the corner, getting in your face if you've got a suppressor. These guys are none the wiser, and I'm feeling like this thing is a lot more sneaky than what other suppressed pistols I've used, but then again, I'm used to using rifles, which may be different in general. Also, I'm noticing there's that might be the Protectrons that I'm seeing as friendlies, but that's fine. But yeah, the new and improved lighting in this place is interesting. It doesn't reflect off players very nicely, I've noticed that. Also, if you ever notice me charge up the weapon and put it away, I'm just de-priming the thing so I don't have to fire a bullet. So that's something I've been doing since Fallout 4, so that's just a good way of saving bullets, so make sure you do that if you're using a Gauss rifle or a pistol. Probably won't work with the miniguns though. At least the charge up there would be better, because you got to wait for the barrels to spin up as well. But anyways, I think we're done. Let's go and shoot some tools. See, look, the lighting here on the characters still makes you look kind of weird. I mean, for some reason, there's always like a slimy texture over you. It's less noticeable when you've got less skin showing, but you're like covered in schleim or something. So another thing that I have a big old sookie about when it comes to, past top tier gunslinger weapons is that they've got basically no ammo capacity. Now with the drum on this thing, I get 27 bullets, which is absolutely massive. Mwah, perfect. I can shoot this thing through Monday to Sunday. Anyway, so the game plan here isn't stealth. It is in fact run in and probably get killed by the tools, but we want to aggro them and choke point them. Fuck off with your random stagger. Alright boys, listen, here we go. I'm gonna show off this splash damage, damn it, because I'm gonna bounce it off multiple targets. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, didn't quite make it out as much as I wanted to there. I'm going to absolutely just hammer the trigger just to see what kind of damage I can do, because I was holding back a little bit there, alright? I was holding back. Just pop a new magazine in this, and we'll start going again. Look how fast this thing can fire. That's crazy. I mean, you don't ever want that. You want to have at least a little bit of charge in it, but I'm thinking it'll just be like the regular old Gauss rifles in the game. If you have it half charged, it only does half damage. Although I'm seeing only 100 off these guys. Actually, that's because I'm hitting them with splash damage, of course, but yeah, hang on, let me just check out. So it's like 1028 right now, so if I actually shoot them, I didn't, that dusted, that's alright. Okay, so I am hitting them for around that amount, so that's good. I think I'm hitting them hard enough to actually kind of negate what armor could do anyway, so that's fine. But yeah, you can actually, you know, pump out rounds with this thing pretty quickly if you actually really wanted to, but it's a lot more ammo efficient and efficient on your durability bar to actually do it, you know, charge it up, use stealth. But just, you know, showing it's an option. Whether it be an option forever is up to the game to decide. I wonder if it's broken and allows you to, you know, double the splash radius with a perk like, what's it called? Grenadier? Is that the one that increases your radius? I forget, I barely ever use it. But it'd be interesting if it did. Alright, we're done here. Let's move on. Okay, so I think I found a Wastelander's integration for my weapon spotlights videos, because this is a place I fast travel to when fighting Swan. Also, they've got an alarm going on, which, you know what, I'm okay with. But yeah, these Blood Eagles are pretty mean, right? They're like your basic raiders, just, you know, chem fiends. There's not a whole lot going on with those guys, but the main thing is, I've got adrenaline from all of this, and a critical ready, and I'm thinking Swan here is at an upgrade, because I went and visited him the other day while I was playing. He was all glowing and stuff, so he's been power leveling over Wastelanders. There he is, look at that, level 95 Swan. He's out to play now. He's done being the small one. Anyways, we'll activate the critical, guarantee the hit, creep in nice and close so we aren't penalized by this thing, suppressor in range. And I don't think that was the head. 6,000. Yeah, right. Pretty good. Alright, back to ye old Mirelurk place, and I've got glow sight, so I can cheese all of the glowing ones without holding down the trigger for a second, which is great for DPS. That one, I can too. That's nice. This one, though, I will actually bother to charge the thing up. 3,600 damage to the face. How does that make you feel? Obviously, it doesn't make him feel good enough about dropping me anything good, but you know what? Considering I got this, I'm okay with a couple of dud drops. It'll all be worthwhile because I've actually got something that is good. I haven't actually been using too much criticals here, but come the Queen test when I get around to doing that, and yes, I intend to do this. There might be some comments out there already. Do you reckon I can aggro by sending out... No. I'll just do the old plasma grenade trick. An offering to the Kraken. There it is again. Unfortunately, this one didn't get an upgrade. So, you're just as squishy as you were before. But, yep. Not too bad against these guys. So mainly the kings. If they get on top of you and start, you know, dealing damage over time, then you're in a lot of trouble. Let's move on. Okay, so I've actually had a decent think about Grindlanders, and I call it Grindlanders because, yes, there is a lot of grind here, but it's for a reason. You see, all of these new toys, they can't be traded with players, which means if you dupe them, you can't sell them, and if you can't sell them, you can't make cash off the selling in-game items. So all of the RMT traders that were probably frothing at the mouth saying, yeah, I could exploit a few idiot players here to get a bit of cash, basically they've been screwed over by this, and I'm totally okay with that. I don't mind grinding a few hours for this and that if it means those guys actually have to get jobs now. Tough break, sorry. Anyways, so with that in mind, the Gauss pistol is actually the easiest one to get. Easiest, best rewarding one. Even if you have like a stealth commando build, you can actually get away with using this thing because you'd have high agility anyway. You'd be mad not to have high agility. So if the Gauss rifle in itself, like the vanilla Fallout 4 game one, doesn't tickle your fancy, this might. You've got a couple of 2mm electromagnetic cartridges you've been sitting on for a bit. You'll find good use here. It's actually extremely powerful, and it's great because we've got an actual competitive, decently powerful gunslinger option now, which is what I've been wanting for ages, and yep, the revolvers aren't going to cut it. They were never supposed to be endgame things anyway. They're just there for people role-playing as cowboys and not doing actual proper combat effectiveness builds like me. And I can actually say combat effectiveness now because 1,300 damage ain't nothing. This also means that I can actually start, you know, just shooting queens with Brooke during live streams and such. So, you know, it just gives me an option to farm the treasury notes, which are ever so precious, and they also can't be duped or dropped, which is just, yeah, it's a good thing. I'm thinking that's a good thing. But yeah, it'll extend the playtime for everyone, obviously, but it makes the rewards do feel like they're earned a little bit more, I guess. There's always that part of it. And it's good for Bethesda, because if people are playing for longer, well, that means that, well, they can make some money off the Atom Store, right? Because at the end of the day, they're a business, and being pushed around by suits all the time to increase profit margins for greed stuff, well, you know, it's a win for everybody, basically, except for the players that don't want to sit here grinding. I understand that. Now, one of the things I've complained about with bats is the lack of effectiveness on explosive weapons when it comes to these guys. Haha, try to piss on me again, mate. See how that works for you. Ooh, it's a sneaking scorch. Okay, I'm going to play by enemies' rules. Totally invisible. I can't see them. It's interesting to see them try these tactics. A little bit of gun fill action. Never hurts. Actually, it does hurt. Not me, though, the enemies. Let's get a crit going. I don't actually have one. That'll do. I've got the crit ready now. We just need to get that scorch piece a little bit closer. I don't seem to be, you know, massively penalized for damage with having an explosive projectile here, so that's some good stuff. Crit ready to go. Yes, okay. I needed to activate the crit a little bit earlier there, but we still managed to get 1800 damage. Grossly out of range, though, so there's that to consider. The rules have changed on Queen testing too. It's going to be a little bit different from now on, and I'll get to that as I get to the Queen test. That's fucking massive. Just pulverized him. And I ain't even using the Prime Receiver. And I've checked, I've bought the Prime Receiver on this. It doesn't actually increase the damage, you know, normally as compared to a Hardened Receiver, but you do get that extra bonus against all things Scorched, which is, you know, it's useful for a thing with X amount of health. Look at that, just sniping. Don't even need a scope with this thing. I zoom in quite far enough. Although, I wouldn't mind a scope on this thing. I feel like making a sniper out of a Gauss pistol is pretty awesome. Alright, here we go. Come on, give me that. There we go. That's got it. Almost died there, but yep. So it doesn't look like we've got the power to completely stomp on Scorched Beasts like a stealth commando would. Or maybe we do. Maybe we got a little bit unlucky there and didn't, when we're actually detected do that. I feel like we were detected, but even still, it's a quick kill time, much faster than you'd get nice drop than any other thing that you'd usually see. Like, completely stomps all over that. Look at the damage difference. That's like a little bit less than 500 now, but that's so significant. So I'm actually really glad I managed to roll one of these. First one too. I kind of freaked out on stream when I did it, because I was like, wow, that's some luck to grab this. I'm not even going to be worried about it not being a 3-star. If anything, the VATS reduction per shot would be nice, but I don't need it. I've got unyielding. I've got all of these. Not using stealth armor here, so my my AP is that. So yeah, I've got 5 health left, but we're still kicking. But I think that'll do it for the Bloodied Lucky Gauss pistol. Kick-ass weapon. So glad to have it. So finally glad to have a good gunslinger option there. Thank you very much for watching, guys.